Let me paint a picture that has become the silent, suffocating reality for millions of men in the modern world. You are sitting on your couch, perhaps after a long day of providing, building, and carrying the weight of your responsibilities. You open your phone, you scroll through social media, and there she is. Your girlfriend, your wife, the woman you have committed your life to, is posting another photo. She has arched her back, pushed out her chest, and she has that specific look in her eyes, the one designed to trigger a very particular response. And underneath, the digital tally is rolling in. Fire emojis, heart eyes, comments like, "Goddess," "Stunning," or "You are so beautiful," from men you do not know. Men who do not know her. Men who are looking at the woman you love the same way a hungry wolf looks at a piece of meat. And the most toxic part of this modern trap? You are supposed to be okay with it. Society, the media, and even your peers tell you that if you are a real man, you will be confident, secure, and unbothered. You are told that if you say anything, you are controlling. If you express discomfort, you are insecure. If you set a boundary, you are toxic. So you swallow it. You might even like the photo yourself because you do not want to be the problem. You pretend this is normal. You tell yourself that this is just how modern relationships work, that your woman collecting sexual validation from a mob of strangers is somehow compatible with the sacred commitment you thought you had. But today, we are going to dismantle that lie. We are going to talk about what is actually happening when your woman seeks attention from other men, what it does to the relationship, what it does to her, and what it does to your soul as a man. This is not about jealousy. This is about self-respect versus self-deception, the fiction of appreciation. Let us start by destroying the convenient fiction that gets repeated constantly to defend this behavior. The excuses are always the same. It is just appreciation. It is just a compliment. People are just being nice. Let me dismantle that right now. When a man leaves a fire emoji on a woman's provocative photo, he is not appreciating her personality. He is not admiring her intellect. He is not celebrating her character. He is signaling sexual interest. Period. Every like is a micro-expression of desire. Every comment is a digital approach. Every DM is a silent attempt. These men do not want to be her friend. They do not want to discuss life with her. They want to sleep with her. That is the transaction. She posts content designed to trigger sexual attraction, and men respond with signals of sexual interest. It is one of the oldest dynamics in human existence, just digitized and scaled for the masses. Now, I know the counter-argument. I am just posting for myself. I felt confident. I liked how I looked. It is for me, not for them. But let us apply a simple test of logic. If she truly felt confident and wanted to capture the moment for herself, why not save the photo to her private camera roll? Why post it publicly? Why enable comments? Why check the response count every 10 minutes? The answer is obvious. The posting is not the point. The attention is the point. The photo is just the hook. This attention is sexual validation. It is a dopamine hit delivered by dozens of men confirming that yes, they want her. Every notification is a tiny rush of, "I am desired," and she is getting this rush not from you, her partner, but from the open market. She is outsourcing her validation to strangers while you are standing right there, thinking you are enough. The collapse of social boundaries. This dynamic did not appear overnight. There was a time, not that long ago, when a woman posting sexualized photos of herself publicly would be seen as a massive red flag. Her family would be concerned. Her friends would question her judgment. This was not oppression. It was a social immune system. It protected the sanctity of the relationship from the corrosive effects of external lust. Today, that immune system has been dismantled. What once caused shame now generates status. The woman who exhibits herself is not judged. She is empowered. The man who objects is not a protector. He is an insecure relic. This is how cultural shifts work. They happen gradually, one redefinition at a time, until what was once obviously problematic becomes the new normal. The normalization is complete when you cannot even articulate your discomfort without sounding like the crazy one. If you feel like you are losing your mind because your girlfriend's gym progress photos look like softcore pornography, understand that you are not crazy. You are just reacting to a boundary that has been erased by a culture that profits from your silence. The spectator in your own life. When this dynamic takes hold, something fundamental shifts in the hierarchy of your intimacy. You go from being the center of her romantic world to being a spectator. You still have the title of boyfriend or husband, but your role has changed. You are now the guy in the background while she performs for an audience. You are essentially the security guard at a concert, making sure no one gets too close while she soaks up the applause. Think about the psychological toll this takes. You are supposed to be her primary source of romantic validation, but you are one person, and they are an endless stream. You can compliment her once a day. They can compliment her 100 times. The math does not work. Your value as a partner is being diluted by the sheer volume of external attention she is consuming. Some men cope with this by reframing it as a win. Look how many guys want my girl. That means I am the alpha who won the prize. This is ego coping, not a relationship strategy. You are trying to extract pride from a situation that should concern you. You are telling yourself that her desirability validates your value. But if she is not content with your validation and needs the lust of strangers to feel confident, that is not a compliment to you. It is evidence that your presence is insufficient. The ratchet effect of provocation. This behavior rarely starts with overtly sexual content. It starts with a selfie, innocent enough, then a selfie that is a little more flattering, then a full body shot. Then the dress gets shorter. Then the poses get more suggestive. Then it is the bikini photos. Then it is the gym angles that exist solely to emphasize her physical features. This is the ratchet effect. Each boundary crossed becomes the new baseline. What felt edgy 6 months ago feels tame today. She is not necessarily planning this. It happens naturally because each increase in provocation generates a bigger response. The algorithm rewards it. Her psychology rewards it. And by the time you notice how far things have gone, you are already complicit. You liked the earlier photos. You accepted the initial drift. How can you object now without looking like you have suddenly changed the rules? You let the thief in the door, and now you are surprised he is in the bedroom. Dismantling the defenses. When a man finally stands up and says, "This is not okay," he is usually met with a script of pre-packaged defenses. You need to know how to see through them. First, you are just insecure. A confident man would not care. This is the nuclear option. It reframes your legitimate standard as a character flaw. But a confident man is the one who cares, because he knows his value and will not tolerate a partner who behaves like public property. Second, I am just expressing myself. Self-expression is a journal or a hobby. Exhibitionism is for an audience. If her self-expression requires the sexual gaze of strangers, it is not about her, it is about them. Third, you are being controlling. Setting a boundary is not control. Saying, "I will not be in a relationship with a woman who does X," is self-respect. Control would be taking her phone. Self-respect is being willing to walk away when your values are disrespected. Fourth, everyone does it. Since when is everyone the standard for your life? Many people cheat. Many people are miserable. Prevalence does not equal endorsement. This is herd morality, and a man of character does not follow the herd into a burning building. The projection test. If you are still confused, if you are still wondering if you are too uptight, use the projection test. Take the photo she is posting and the comments she is receiving. Now imagine it is your mother doing it, or imagine it is your future daughter in that pose, collecting those fire emojis from men. Suddenly, the modern empowerment lens disappears. You do not think she is being bold. You do not think she is owning her sexuality. You feel a deep, instinctive sense of horror. You see the behavior for exactly what it is, a degradation of dignity. The only reason you tolerate it in a partner is because your sexual attraction is clouding your judgment. Your desire for her is acting as a blindfold. Remove the desire, and your moral clarity returns instantly. Your attraction is not an argument. It is a distraction from the truth. Masculinity and the protection of privacy. Traditional masculinity did not display its most valuable assets. It protected them, not out of shame, but out of reverence. The idea that your intimate partner should be a public spectacle for other men's consumption, is not a sign of strength. It is a sign of a massive internal void. You are seeking validation through her desirability because you do not have enough of your own. High-value men do not need other men to confirm their partner's attractiveness. They do not check the comment count to feel good about themselves. They chose their partner for reasons that have nothing to do with public consensus. The man who allows his woman to be a digital commodity is essentially saying, "I need you to want her so that I can feel like a winner." That is not alpha. That is a man who has lost his way. The downstream consequences. This is not just about your current discomfort. It is about the future. If you have children, what are they learning? Your daughter is watching her mother receive praise for sexualized presentation. She is learning that this is where female value comes from. Your son is watching his father accept this dynamic. He is learning that men should swallow their pride and lower their standards to keep a woman. Children model what they see, not what they are told. If your daughter grows up watching mom post provocatively, that becomes her template for gaining status. If your son watches dad silently tolerate it, he learns that this is what love looks like. You are programming the next generation's relationship dysfunction in real time. Your silence today is a moral statement they will have to deal with tomorrow. The addiction to attention. Constant attention seeking is an addiction. The dopamine hits from likes activate the same reward circuits as other addictive behaviors. And like any drug, tolerance builds. She needs more attention to feel the same high, which means more skin, more poses, and more exposure. Meanwhile, her capacity for real intimacy atrophies. Why work on the difficult parts of a real relationship when you can get instant validation from a screen? Why develop the patience for a lasting partnership when thousands of men are ready to praise you right now? Over time, she becomes optimized for attraction, not attachment. For performance, not presence. And you, the partner, become increasingly irrelevant. You are competing against a global audience, and you cannot win. This is degeneration through habitual lust. When someone spends years optimizing for sexual attention, something fundamental changes in their ability to bond. They become incapable of the slower, deeper intimacy that sustains long-term relationships. They need constant novelty and constant validation from new sources. One partner will never be enough for an addict of attention. Partner selection is diagnostic. The woman you choose is a reflection of your own internal state. If you are drawn to women who need the spotlight, who crave the validation of strangers, that says something about you. Maybe you think that is the best you can get. Maybe you are addicted to the chase. Maybe you hope that her desire for attention will eventually turn into attention for you. Order attracts order. A man who has his life together, internally stable and clear on his values, naturally attracts women who are looking for a leader, not an audience. If you keep ending up with attention seekers, the question is not, why are women like this? The question is, why am I choosing this? Biological attraction is nature, but committing to that attraction is a choice. Lots of things are attractive, but not good for you. Junk food is attractive, procrastination is attractive, but you do not build a life around them. You apply discipline. You recognize that short-term attraction often conflicts with long-term well-being. The illusion of market value. There is a modern belief that sexual visibility increases a woman's value. More likes, more followers, more options. She must be high value. But this confuses sexual accessibility with relational value. Sexual visibility answers the question, would men sleep with her? For provocative content, the answer is usually yes. But relational value asks, would a high-quality man commit to her? Would he trust her? Would he build a legacy with her? High sexual visibility often decreases relational value. The more men who have consumed her image, the less special the connection feels. The more she has sought external validation, the less her partner's validation matters. She is advertising for the wrong audience and driving away the men she actually needs. The final truth: being wanted versus being respected. A woman who is displayed for mass desire will be wanted. There is no doubt about that. But being wanted is not the same as being respected. Being desired is not the same as being honored. Lust is consumptive. It takes, it uses, and it moves on. The men in those comments do not care about her well-being. They will scroll past her in 3 seconds and forget she exists. That is the value she is trading her dignity for. A man who commits to her is offering something different: presence, investment, and a future. But when she chases the shallow wanting of strangers while receiving the deep commitment of a partner, she is trading gold for glitter. And the man who allows it is complicit in his own devaluation. He is telling her through his silence that his respect is worth less than her need for likes. What you tolerate, you encourage. If you stay despite feeling disrespected, you are teaching her that disrespect has no consequences. If you like the photo while feeling sick inside, you are participating in your own humiliation. Setting a boundary is not controlling. Walking away is not weakness. These are the acts of a man who values himself enough to demand a standard. Paradoxically, this is what creates a healthy relationship. Not one where she behaves because you forced her, but one where she behaves because she is with a man she respects, a man who would not tolerate anything less. If she needs the attention more than she needs your respect, you have your answer. You know who she is, and you can make your choice accordingly, not with anger, but with clarity. A stable relationship requires boundaries. It requires that both people invest in each other more than they invest in the attention of strangers. It requires that intimacy means something. If you are in a relationship where she is performing for an audience while you watch from the wings, understand that this is not commitment. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to demand respect. You are allowed to leave if it is not available. The psychology of attention and the loss of depth. We live in an era where the depth of a relationship is often sacrificed on the altar of visibility. When a woman becomes addicted to the digital gaze, her internal world begins to shrink. Everything becomes about how it looks, not how it feels. A vacation is not about the experience, it is about the photo. An anniversary is not about the bond, it is about the public tribute. When life becomes a performance, authenticity dies. You, as the partner, become a prop in her play. You are not a person with feelings and needs. You are the Instagram husband, whose job is to capture the angles. This is not love, it is production. And production is exhausting. It leaves no room for the quiet, messy, real moments that actually build a life. When you allow this to continue, you are participating in the destruction of your own reality. You are agreeing to live in a world of surfaces. You are trading a real woman for an image. And images cannot love you back. Images cannot support you through a crisis. Images cannot build a family. The fallacy of "she is mine." Many men use the "she is mine" defense to justify their partner's behavior. She can post whatever she wants. At the end of the day, she comes home to me. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of human psychology. Human desire is not a light switch that stays in one room. If she is constantly cultivating the desire of other men, she is keeping herself in a state of availability. Psychologically, she is never fully home. She has one foot out the door, checking the market value of her options. True commitment is a closed circuit. It is a decision to stop seeking. When she continues to seek validation from the open market, she is not actually committed. She is just parking with you until she sees if she can get a better spot. A man who understands his own worth does not allow himself to be a parking spot. He is the destination, or he is nothing. The trap of modern security. We are told that a secure man is one who is unaffected by anything his partner does. But this is a weaponized version of security. True security is knowing your boundaries and having the strength to enforce them. If a man breaks into your house and starts stealing your furniture, and you sit there and say, "I am so secure in my ownership of this furniture that I do not need to stop him," you are not secure. You are a fool. Your partner's sexual attention is a private asset of the relationship. When she gives it away to strangers, she is stealing from the partnership. Being secure does not mean letting people steal from you. It means knowing you have the power to stop the theft or leave the house. Don't let the culture gaslight you into thinking that having no standards is a form of strength. Having no standards is the ultimate form of weakness. It is the path of the man who has given up on himself. The impact on intimacy. Think about the next time you are intimate with her. If she has spent the day collecting the lustful gazes of hundreds of men, that energy is in the room with you. You are not just with her, you are with her and her audience. Intimacy requires a quote 60 between two people. It requires that you are the only one who sees her this way. When everyone else has seen her that way, when everyone else has had a quote 61 of her through the screen, The specialness of the moment is gone. It is like buying a luxury car that the whole neighborhood has already test-driven. It might still be a nice car, but that feeling of _62_ is gone. For a man, that exclusivity is a powerful driver of devotion. When you remove it, his devotion naturally drops. He might stay, but he will not be as invested. He will not work as hard. He will not protect as fiercely. He becomes a, 63 partner because he is in a, 64 relationship. This is how relationships die, not with a bang, but with a slow, grinding loss of value. The algorithm of desire. We must also understand that she is being manipulated by the platform she uses. These apps are designed by world-class psychologists to exploit human insecurities. They know exactly how to trigger the need for validation. When she posts a modest photo and gets 50 likes, but posts a provocative one and gets 500, the app is literally training her. It is reinforcing exhibitionism and punishing modesty. She is being conditioned like a lab rat. As her partner, you are the only one who can offer a counterbalance to this conditioning. If you do not stand for modesty and privacy, who will? If you do not remind her that her value is in her soul and her character, she will continue to believe it is in her body. And her _65_, this is not about being her _66_. It is about being her partner in a world that wants to turn her into a product. The ultimatum of self-respect. There comes a point where talking is not enough. You can explain your feelings, you can show the projection test, you can talk about the future. But if she does not change, you have your answer. A woman who values your peace of mind and the sanctity of your relationship will listen. She might not understand it perfectly at first, but she will care that it hurts you. She will care that it undermines the bond. A woman who dismisses you, calls you _67_, and continues the behavior is telling you that her dopamine hits are more important than your feelings. She is telling you that the strangers in her comments are more valuable to her than the man in her bed. At that point, you have to be willing to walk. If you're not willing to leave, your boundaries are just suggestions. A man who cannot leave is a man who cannot lead. He is a prisoner of his own desire. The legacy of the sovereign man. The sovereign man is one who controls his environment. He does not allow toxic dynamics to take root in his life. He chooses a partner who reflects his values, and he maintains those values through consistent action. When you finally stand up and say, _68, you are not just fixing a relationship, you are reclaiming your masculinity. You are telling the world that you have standards. You are telling your future children that respect matters. You are telling yourself that you are worth more than a spectator seat. It might be difficult, you might lose her, but losing a woman who does not respect you is actually a win. It clears the space for a woman who will. It clears the space for a relationship built on real intimacy, not public performance. Conclusion. A call to clarity. The culture will not help you with this. The algorithm will not help you. Your 69 friends will not help you. You have to find the strength within yourself. Look at your relationship with clear eyes. Is it a partnership or a performance? Is she yours or is she the internet's? Are you a leader or a spectator? If you do not like the answers to those questions, change the situation. Stop settling for the crumbs of attention left over from her audience. Demand the respect that a committed relationship requires. And if she is not willing to give it, have the courage to find a woman who is. The world has enough spectacles. It needs more real connections. It needs more men who have the balls to say, "This is my boundary and I will not cross it." Be that man. Stop competing with the fire emojis. Start building a life that does not need a filter. That is the message for today. If you have been through this, if you have had the courage to walk away or the strength to set the standard, share your experience. Let other men know they are not alone. Let them know that self-respect is the only path to a real, lasting love. The game is only over when you decide to stop playing by their rules. See you in the next one.